travel alert abroad. Elon students are warned to stay safe.
Reporters from London and Dublin join us
Look how
with
dark
more
I am.
reactions from Elon students.
Why am I dark? Trashing old technology, how the university keeps your information safe. I'm too dark. And where the We gotta fix equipment from the that. past Fix that next is time. offloaded.
Doggy decoys. The dogs target criminals, but until they're ready, they attack one of their own. What it takes to be a canine, coming up.
And he is now an Elon legend. The number 19 jersey is retired, but the player that wore it is looking to continue his playing time.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mallory Lane.
And I'm Jasmine Spencer. The suicide of a freshman at Rutgers University in New Jersey has brought a lot of attention to the problem of bullying.
Student Tyler Clementi jumped off the George Washington Bridge last week. Authorities believe he killed himself after his roommate caught Clementi having sex with another man and streamed it on the internet. Drew Smith joins us now with reaction from Elon. Drew?
Jasmine and Mallory, it's a different kind of bullying. Cyberbullying uses technology to humiliate and harm. It's what police believe led to recent suicides of several gay teens in the United States. And one activist I spoke to here at Elon hopes it doesn't happen here.
I think that it has a very deep effect, a very painful effect.
Brandon Tankard is president of Spectrum, the gay-straight alliance on campus.
This is Spectrum's Facebook site.
He's concerned about cyberbullying and the damage it can do.
I think it's so much easier to do. You know, you don't have to be in someone's face saying this to them. You know, it's a different dynamic when you're standing in front of somebody and looking into their eyes and saying something and getting a reaction from them.
It seems easy to do. Get online anonymously and post, upload, or share anything you want. And there seems to be no consequences.
But now if you cyberbully in North Carolina, you could be arrested. The General Assembly made it a criminal offense last year. Those found guilty face a Class 1 misdemeanor. But Tankard hopes no one will face those charges here.
I would like to believe that nothing like that could happen here at Elon. I just would charge people to be very cognizant and aware of what they're saying and what they're doing and how their actions and words can affect the lives of others.
A survey released earlier this month by the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network found 9 out of 10 gay students experience harassment in school. Elon encourages students to report any abusive online behavior to campus safety and police. Jasmine.
Thanks, Drew. First-year student Turili Fosley is in improving condition after being involved in a hit-and-run near campus. Fosley is back on campus after being treated for serious injuries at Duke University Hospital. He will wear a medical neck brace, or halo, for the next 3 months. He is still experiencing sudden bouts of dizziness with blurred vision, which have prevented him from returning to class. After he receives the go-ahead from doctors, he will resume his studies.
Students studying abroad in Europe are warned to stay safe. The U.S. State Department issued a travel alert for Americans in Europe on fears of a terrorist attack by al-Qaeda in a number of European cities.
Our Sam Baranowski is in London and has more on these advisories and their effects on Elon students abroad. Sam?
Jasmine, here in London, we're told there's a security increase in areas like Trafalgar Square and Buckingham Palace. There is a tube strike in effect right now, the second in 3 weeks. So the underground is already vulnerable and students are staying alert while traveling, trying to take buses whenever possible. Britain's threat level is still severe, meaning an attack is highly likely, though the Isabella Cannon Center tells us not to be alarmed, just aware of our surroundings. What I've been hearing from students is the most concerning part in all of this is there was a separate alert from the UK Foreign Office saying France and Germany are 2 potential targets, but there are also 2 places a lot of students studying abroad plan to visit. Emails from concerned parents are crowding students' inboxes, and junior Stephanie Costas tells me she got multiple emails from her parents telling her to stay away from major tourist attractions and also to have an exit plan at all times. She says since we're nearly halfway through the trip, she just doesn't want to be scared out of enjoying this experience. We actually just got an email from Elon a few hours ago. It says not to be frightened by the alerts, but limit travel away from our host countries. Students here are starting to make decisions on their trips, and the main consensus between students right now is we'll be cautious, but everyone is keeping travel plans as they are. From London, Sam Baranowski, Phoenix14 News Tonight.
Thanks, Sam. Some Elon students studying in Ireland are just back from a weekend of travel and learning of the alert for the first time. Monica Yantosh is in Dublin with more. Monica?
issuing a travel warning. Students all over Europe are staying alert. In Dublin, Ireland, program advisors are echoing the travel warnings, telling students they can continue to travel through Europe, but they need to be aware of their surroundings. They also continue to encourage traveling within the Republic of Ireland. Junior Margaret Rowland was in Munich over the weekend when she heard the news of the travel warning. She has other trips planned throughout Europe and says she'll stay alert but still travel.
I mean, unless there was a serious threat and we were specifically told it would be unsafe to travel, I probably would listen to that, but besides that, I don't want it to let it ruin my trip.
From Dublin, Monica Yantosh, Phoenix 14 News Tonight.
To hear more on what students are saying about the travel advisory, visit our website at phoenix14news.wordpress.com.
On a campus that is constantly upgrading desktops, replacing printers, and giving faculty new laptops, it's easy to lose sight of the dated technology that seems to just disappear. David Hodges follows the story to Durham.
Computers at Elon have a shelf life of 4 to 6 years, but the information they store can last forever. Elon has to terminate this valuable information, like social security numbers, under the new red flag rules of the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act.
We erase the drive, 5, 6 times and then sell them, or we used to.
But starting this year, Elon hands over its equipment to a new company with a factory full of data destroyers.
GEEP is an awful funny name, but it stands for Global Electronic Processing.
Seated, it gives it. GEEP clears and cleans its customers' hard drives to protect its clients from identity theft and other financial crimes.
Really, it would be disastrous, so we take great pains to make sure that anything that comes in with data on it gets wiped.
Even though GEEP trashes all the data from the old hard drives, the company has a different bin for the material waste.
After the hard drives are wiped of all their information, the equipment is sent here to be broken down into metals, glass, and plastic, so it can be deconstructed and properly recycled.
We really recycle. We don't incinerate, we don't export, we don't landfill.
GEEP finds a way to recover 97% of the material that comes through its doors. And of the 6 tons of equipment that Elon sends to GEEP, every speck of it is recycled and finds its way back to Elon in the form of a paycheck.
They charge us to come and pick up the equipment, and then they give us a check for all the recyclable material. And it just about pays for itself.
Breaking even in the bank, breaking the cycle of waste, and keeping criminals from breaking in. All a part of the old and broken equipment that leaves Elon for a place that's as green as it gets. In Durham, David Hodges, Phoenix 14 News.
The GEEP facility in Durham has been chewing up computers since 2005. The plant can process nearly 5,000 pounds of equipment in an hour, and GEEP already compensated Elon for the material it sent in earlier in the school year.
Tom Sawyer, Harry Potter, and The Kite Runner. What do these famous books have in common? They have all been banned at some point in history. Belk Library celebrated Banned Book Week last week. The feature was focused on the importance of freedom of speech and showcased these books to students. The yearly celebration takes place every fall and looks at the censorship of books.
Cancer remission and dealing with death, Elon professor Barbara Gordon did it and now has a new book to help other women do it too. Gordon was diagnosed with breast cancer more than 10 years ago and is using her experience to educate others. The book was published this fall and provides medical information as well as advice about the disease. In it, Gordon writes about types of breast cancer recurrence, diagnostic tests, and financial issues associated with death. Gordon has been an English professor at Elon for 24 years. Gordon's book isn't the only thing bringing awareness to breast cancer, it is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Zeta Tau Alpha's Think Pink campaign is this week. The Think Pink event is Wednesday at 6 p.m. near Moseley. Teams of 4 will compete in a yogurt eating contest to raise awareness. There will be a live band and a cancer survivor will speak at the event. That's not all you can do to help. The sorority will also be collecting Yoplait yogurt pink lids in Moseley through Friday. For each lid, Yoplait will donate 5 cents to Zeta Tau Alpha's philanthropy and 10 cents to the Susan G. Komen Foundation.
Every day, thousands of patients around the country receive blood transfusion. You can help to save someone's life by donating blood during Elon's blood drive this week. The American Red Cross will be in McKinnon from 1 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, and again from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Thursday. To sign up, go to redcrossblood.org and enter the sponsor code shown on your screen. You can also check your eligibility on the website. Remember to bring your photo ID or blood donor card when you donate. And still to come on Phoenix 14 News, North Carolina's poverty is the highest it's ever been and higher than the national average. Where we fit and what our local community is doing to help hunger. Still to come.
These dogs are vicious. They're trained to target criminals and sniff out trouble, but until they're trained, those on the other side of the law have to step up and get a little tormented. We'll tell you about these dogs and their training decoys.
He hasn't even been gone for a year and already he's a legend. The number 19 jersey and the man that wore it proudly receive a special Elon honor.
All that and more still to come on the other side of the break. We'll be right back with Phoenix 14 News tonight. Now a look at what's going on in the Triad tonight. North Carolina is still higher than the national average in two key economic indicators. North Carolina's poverty rate is at 14.6%, more than a point higher than the national average. While poverty is up, unemployment is down 9.7, a point and a half less than it was back in February. This puts North Carolina unemployment just about in line with the national average of 9.6.
Raleigh residents are some of the most educated in the country, according to the new U.S. Census Bureau results. The data shows that more than 42% of Raleigh residents have at least a bachelor's degree. The capital ranks fourth compared to other cities. Washington, D.C. leads the list with nearly half of its residents receiving a college degree, followed by San Francisco at 43.5%. People with degrees tie in Raleigh, and Boston and New York ends the list with nearly 36%. The national average of people with professional degrees is 25%.
Alamance County residents are doing what they can to stop world hunger.
Our Julie Morse found out how people of all ages are making a difference.
Participants of the Burlington Crop Walk believe in the world's hunger problem, and they're walking for a solution.
Thank you so much.
So we're back on.
After a low turnout last year, the walk's organizer, Phil Young, is expecting a comeback.
Our goal is to get back to the $60,000 level that we were in the last recent years. We were lower than that last year because of the economy.
The poverty rate in North Carolina is at an all-time high, but Young believes the Saturday walk was successful.
We definitely have more walkers this year than last year. We had a really beautiful day.
Walkers can participate in the 6-mile or 1-mile course, but 91-year-old Fred Genoway made up a course of his own.
I walk from home here, and then we start from here on the 6.2 mile run. But I get off between Saddle Club on Parish Street and go to my street.
A quarter of the funds will stay here in Alamance County. Genoway alone hopes to raise $1,000 this year. But charity is not the only reason he walks.
Exercise is the name of the game.
While other walkers get water and peanuts, Genoway is happy with just the exercise. Julie Morris, Phoenix 14 News, tonight.
Alamance County will receive more than $19,000 in street aid this month. This is a $6,000 increase from last year. The funds will be used to pay for road repairs and maintenance, as well as sidewalk construction. The money is from the Powell Bill Fund and is distributed by the North Carolina Department of Transportation. Road funding comes from revenues collected by the state gas tax and other highway fees. Mebane Street in Burlington is just one of the streets in Alamance County that will benefit from the Powell Bill. Mebane Street has been westbound only for about a year due to construction, but starting tomorrow, it's going to change. On October 5th, Mebane Street is going to be eastbound only. The construction is expected to be finished August 2011.